Um, yeah, that's the right one. Okay. Okay. I think I have, okay, sorry, I'm talking to myself. Um, Cooperate, please. Don't make me stand up. Okay. Don't make me stand up. All right, well, hi. um, so I was looking when I was looking at the parsha for this week. I when I did my training with my like Jewish training thing that I did in yoga, my teacher was I think she's written a book now, translating the Sfat Emet, who was a rabbi in Poland, Hasidic rabbi in Poland in like the middle late 1800s, I think is the dates. I don't exactly remember, but so she taught a lot of things that he taught. So he had this one teaching about this parsha. So this during this parsha, Abraham circumcises himself at 99 years old. And then the text is right just afterwards that God comes to Abraham just after he does this, and says, Hashem appears to him as he is sitting at the opening of the tent to give him comfort, to comfort the sick. So the Sfat Emet's teaching on this is that it's this idea of coming to sit no matter what's happened. Like you've just gone through surgery, let's say. You just had a revelation of God. Like God literally just spoke to you, and it's still just, nope, I just come and I sit, So it's his commentary on it is about, this just the practice of like, no matter what's happening, life is great, you come and sit, you do your practice, you've had injury, there's some things going on, you do your practice. Maybe it looks a little different, maybe it's shorter, maybe it's whatever. You've had a revelation. Guess what? You wake up the next day, you come and sit, and that's the one of the ways that spiritual practice really works on us. Is when we are willing to do that every day. I am good at making excuses to myself, and it's to me, and it's what we were just talking about a little bit. I'll just say for the recording that um, when I'm always reading about Torah, studying Torah, reading about yoga, studying yoga, watching videos, and so I feel like I'm so steeped in it all the time. And then once in a while I sit back and I'm like, oh yeah, but I have to do the practice too. It feels like I'm thinking about it, talking about it, which I am all the time. But I still have to do the practice, and so whatever your excuse is, my excuse, maybe is like, well, I don't want to think about it for a minute. I want to just like go, I used to go to this yoga class and the teacher would always say, does anyone have any requests? And one day I was like, yes, that you just teach and I don't have to think about it. That's why I'm here. I don't want to think about it. I'm here. So you get to think about it for this hour, but whatever our excuse is, I'm tired, I'm busy, stuff is hurting, whatever it is. There's a teaching from the tradition that says, when you're really busy, no, it's when you should sit for meditation 10 to, 15 to 20 minutes a day, whatever it is, 10 to 15 minutes a day. And when you're really busy, 30 minutes a day. And it's true because that's really when we need it more. And often in the times where we really need it more are the times where we're letting it go. So this teaching is to say, okay, how can I just find my way to that practice? How can I find my way to even if it's a modified practice? And then there's also this idea of sitting. And one of the explanations of how the physical practices of yoga came to be is that it was so like, it was, these dudes in India out in the woods, at least, in the Indian tradition. It was, these guides would go out to the woods or into the caves to meditate, and they would be so uncomfortable to just sitting that they developed these stretches and movements and ways of opening up their bodies so that then they could come and sit and do their meditation. So that is one theory of how the practice, like the physical practices of yoga, because the sort of highest goal, the end goal is the connection to God, the connection to something bigger, right? The connection to your source. But if you can't sit because your body's like, I can't sit like that, then you're not gonna be able to do that, So we'll look at sort of both of those things, like how can we sit better? How can we open up our bodies better? And then just that idea of like, yeah, just do the practice. You're here, so you're doing it. A plus for today. All right, let's just take a minute, close our eyes. Take a few breaths. And just let yourself be in the practice. Just come to your breath, come to your body. Invite yourself to just do this one thing for the next hour, this time we have to spend. To invite your body to be really present. Invite your awareness to be really present. Just not to say we're going to, eradicate thoughts and sort of empty in our minds. I don't think that's realistic for most of us most of the time. It's just a way of recognizing when things are arising that are drawing us away from here, that we can just draw ourselves back. So just anchor your awareness in your breath for a few more breaths. Regardless of whatever else may have happened before you walked in the door, before you came to your practice, came to your mat, regardless of what's happening after you walk out the door, we just be here, really present. Kindness with gentleness, guiding ourselves back. Just bring your hands onto your heart. Then just take a bow, just softly bow your head down to your heart, setting that intention to be here, present, just doing the practice in every possible way. And then just drop your hands down to your lap. Take your time just getting yourself settled, Deborah. And just do some seated cat and cow. So you exhale, let your weight drop to your hands, let your head drop down. And then as you inhale, draw your chest forward, lift up through your chest, lift your chin a little bit, stretch the front of your body. Good. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Then just forward and back a couple more times at your pace. You want to hang out in one of these positions a little longer. Do that. Oh, don't worry. It's okay. No worries. So we're just going to find our way to center. So we're going to think about the curves of the spine, especially about the lumbar curve and the low back as we're coming to sit. So the next time you're more at that arched position, just pause there for a moment. And then pull your navel in towards your spine a little bit. So you still have that curve in your spine, but you're pulling your navel in towards your spine. So just supporting it. Not in a way that restricts your breath, but just feels supportive. And then draw your shoulders back. Yeah. And then just sit for a moment in this sort of neutral position, just feeling how it might feel different than where you land on the day-to-day where you usually find yourself. And just keeping that in the memory. So we deviate from it, but then we come back to it. All right, take your feet out in front of you. If you're on a blanket or something, a block or something, come off of that. And then take your feet out, onto the floor like a squat. And then just do some windshield wipers, dropping the knees one way and then the other, just going side to side, trying to get the inner knee and the outer knee down at the same time if possible. Yeah. Just starting to work some of the kinks out. All right, next time you're to the right, stay here. And then bring your weight on into your right hand, take your left arm up. Good, push your knees into the floor, push your hand into the floor. You can stay here or you can lift your hips up, stretching the front of your body a little bit more, reach to your fingertips. Good, exhale, drop your hips back down, come over to the other side, knees down. Weight to your left hand, right arm sweeps up by your ear. Stay here or hips up if that works for you. Good, exhale and release down. Go back to the first side. This one's a little bit trickier. You're gonna keep your left hand on the floor. You're gonna take your right hand and hold somewhere on your left leg. So no, you're there. Knees to the right. Yeah, bring your left hand to the floor. So you're in like a twist. That's it. Yeah, you got it. And then right hand can hold your leg or your foot or whatever you can reach. So you're in it's a kind of a deep twist. All right, press your left sit bone down. Might want to lift up a little bit. So press the knee down and turn your belly to the left. Not in a way that feels forceful, but just so that you're getting some rotation through your spine. Okay, inhale and face front. Drop your knees to the left. You got it. Get your knees down as close to the floor as they're going to go. And then right hand to the right. Left hand to your right leg or your right foot, whatever you can reach on the right side. Good. Anchor your right right knee down, and then twist your belly a little bit more to the right. Good. Inhale and come to center. All right. Come lay down onto your back now. Yeah. And then lift up your feet, hug your knees into your chest, and just circle your legs together. So make some circles. Yeah, just go slow music on. Yeah, and then circle the other way. And then hold one knee in each hand and circle your legs that way. So in big circles away from each other. Yep, like that. And then go around the other way. Circle the other way. Feel your back rounding into the floor and lifting away from the floor as you're doing this movement with your legs. So what happens with our pelvis affects our legs. What happens with our legs affects our pelvis. All right, then bring your legs together. Just take your arms by your sides. Press your shoulders down. And then press your heels up towards the ceiling really strong. Flex your feet, straighten out your legs as much as you can. Good, then exhale and squeeze your heels to your butt. So not so much knees to chest, but heels to butt. Get the hamstrings to fire. That's it. Then stretch your legs up straight. And then bend your knees. Good. And then stretch up again. And bend. Okay, good. Now, take your right hand, hold your right ankle. Roll onto your left side. You can rest your head onto your left arm for a little thigh stretch on your side. Good. So start with your knee up a little bit higher. Yeah, he rolled off of that. Just thought I'd do that. You can start with your right knee up a little higher. Make your foot active. Spread out your toes. And then with your knee up a little bit, hug your heel again towards your butt. Maybe you're already feeling a stretch in your hip flexor. And if you are, then, be gentle with yourself. You don't want to really feel this in the knee. So if you're feeling it in the knee, I'd ease off. And then keeping your heel towards your butt. Now squeeze your top knee down towards your bottom knee. Yep. And then keeping your heel towards your butt, maybe move your knee back in space a little bit more. If that's too much, then ignore me. Good. And now, last thing, tone your belly. Pull your navel towards your spine as you pull the knee back behind. So you're getting the top edge of your psoas involved there. Okay, good. Roll to your back, release your foot. And then we're coming on over to the other side. So you'll hold your left ankle. Rest your head on your right arm. Start with your knee up a little bit to just give yourself a little bit of space and grace there. Hug your heel towards your heel to sit bone. That's it. Then squeeze the knee down any amount more. Tone your belly. Then press your knee back behind you any amount more until you feel like a good juicy stretch in your thigh. Shouldn't be painful, should just be a nice stretch. Okay, good. And roll back to your back. All right, grab a block now. You're gonna put a block between your feet. I like this way, so like the short edge is facing towards me. Yeah, you can put it between your ankles. It's like these cork blocks are they're heavy. They're a little harder to hold on to. So I have it sort of between my ankle bones. If you're at home and you've got a foam block, that's usually easier. Between the base of the big toes and the ankles. All right, arms by your sides. And then same thing we did before, squeeze your heel to your butt, heels to your butt, and then press your heels to the sky. Good, and then squeeze your heels to your butt and extend up through your legs, like you're just stretching yourself into the moment, into the present. Squeeze your heels in
engaging with this moment, and then extend yourself fully into it. And one more time, squeeze and press your legs as straight as you can. Just hold there for a moment. Okay, give yourself a rest. Rest your feet for a moment. We're gonna do one more thing with the block, but we're gonna give the legs a rest for a sec. The next one, we're gonna put the block in the same place, so same between the feet. And then a couple of options here. We're gonna work to squeeze. You could either do it like this, hands behind your head, squeezing, like you're trying to stretch your feet up towards the sky, lift your hips. If that's a lot for you, you can do this with your hands underneath your hips and just work the lower end, right? If hands behind the head feels like too much. So either way, we're trying to squeeze the hips and the shoulders off the floor and then release back down. Just like that. Squeeze the block, lift and lower. Yep, just like that. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Try 3 more. Squeeze up and release. Like a gentle squeeze, like a hug, not like a forceful. My middle son was like, I had to buy him a book when he was little that said hugs shouldn't hurt because he was such a forceful hugger. So not a hug like that, a gentle hug. Okay, rest. Bend your knees. You can set the block over to the side for a moment. Just do a couple of windshield wipers with your legs down. Okay. Now we're going to lift and lower the legs. So same thing. I'm going to offer 2 different options. You can do it here. And we'll make you do this one with the block. We're going to lower the legs and bring them back up. So you can do this with your head off the floor, hands behind the head. Again, if that pulls in your low back, here's a gentler way to do it. You put your hips on your hands, and then you keep the knees a little bit soft, and you go like that. So you want to keep your back feeling comfortable. All right, so lower your legs and just feel how at some point your low back starts to lift away from the floor. So when you feel that, that's the indication of where you should stop. So go as low as you can without letting your back lift way off the floor. So you have to really pull your navel towards your spine to maintain that curve. Try a couple more. Squeeze your legs together, pretend the block is still there. And if this is even too much, you can do one leg at a time. I should have said that also. All right, last one. Okay, good. Step your feet wide on your mat. Just rest your knees together for a moment. Rest your hands on your belly. Let your breath come back to normal. All right, grab your strap. Yeah. And we're going to take the strap around the right foot. Here's the first thing. Start with your left knee bent. Right foot into the strap. I have it right at the base of the toes. I like that. That's a good spot for me. All right, and then we're going to just, with the knee a little bit soft, point and flex. This is a little bit of a nerve glide exercise. Sometimes makes the stretch in the hamstring go a little easier. So point, press up into the strap, and then pull back on the strap, flex, and just like that, point and flex. Sorry, that's off. I don't know why my watch brings through. Okay, last point and flex. Good, and then just land right in the middle. So not pointed, not flex. Straighten your leg. Now as straight as you can, so firm that quadricep muscle, not so much that you feel pulling in your knee, but feel all the muscles of your legs fire up, and then stretch your left leg to the floor. That's it. And if you're looking for deeper stretch, of course, walk your hands up your strap or draw the leg in closer. Okay, now I want you to do a little pelvic tilting, like a little cat and cow. So lift your low back away from the floor. You'll feel more stretch as you do that. And then round your back into the floor. And then lift your back a little away from the floor. And then round into the floor. Yeah. And then hold right in the middle of those 2 actions. So there's just a little gentle curve in your low back, but your belly, your pelvic floor toning, pulling down towards the spine. Hold both straps into your right hand. Take your left arm over to the left. And then press your right leg out to the right. Push into the strap to extend your leg out. It's not just collapsing with gravity. Really pushing out into your foot. Got to extend both legs evenly, equally. Take one more breath. And then push your foot to the strap. Bring that leg up. Okay, then switch it, strap to the other hand. Take your right arm out to the right. Yep, and then bring it across. You got it. Same thing. Press Press your foot to the strap. Yep, you can let your hip roll up off the floor, so your right hip is over your left hip. Your right arm is extending out to the right. Take 2 more breaths here, really stretching from your sit bones out to your heels. Your legs are really extending long. Inhale, bring that leg back up. Take your strap off and keep the leg extended for a moment. And then just slowly reach it out, bring it down to the floor. And then just pause. Take a moment to feel your legs. The sort of theme, Deborah, you can relate to the theme is on Abraham sitting outside of the tent right after he circumcised himself at age 99 and had this revelation with God, but he still comes to sin. There's this teaching that says, no matter what's going on, we come to sin, do our practice. All right, bend up your knees and take your strap on your left foot. So that's our context for the practice today. So first thing, knee a little soft, point and flex your foot. Yep, that's it. Push the toes up, pull the toes back. And then find the middle place between the two. Stretch your legs straight, so firm your thigh muscle. Don't block out the knee, but see if you can get it really straight. And then stretch your right leg to the floor. Play with a little cat and cow here, arching your back, rounding your back a little bit. Ultimately, we always want to have that lumbar curve in our spine, or we want to use that as a, sort of central place. Then we can go into a forward, then we go into a back, then we can deviate from it, but we want to be able to come to neutral, and that's neutral. All right, so try to maintain the curve. Press your foot to the strap, take your left hand, the strap into your left hand, right arm out to the right, left leg out to the left. That's it. Extend it to the side. Left leg out. Extend your right arm out to the right. Press your right shoulder down. Take one more breath here. Good. Push your foot to the strap, bring your leg up, and then switch. Grab the strap with your right hand. Shift your hips over to the left a little bit if that's helpful. And then come into the twist. Draw the leg over to the right. Yep, that's it. Keep pushing out through your leg, and if you're near a wall or something, a post or furniture, if you're at home, you can push your foot into something, or else, of course, just push it into the strap. One more breath. Good. Extend your leg back out towards the sky. Yeah, center yourself, and then remove the strap. Keep your leg out long, extending out long, and then just super slow. Bring it down to meet the right leg. Extend it out. Good, and let it rest. Let your pinky toes drop to the floor for a moment. Okay, now prop yourself up onto your elbows. Work with this curve of your spine. So notice as you come up on your elbows, this is what wants to happen. The back wants to collapse, the shoulders collapse in. So push your elbows down. Yep, feel like you're puffing your chest up a little bit, like you're broadening your collarbones, got that curve in your spine, and then bend up your knees. Keep your elbows pressing down, lift your feet off the floor. Good, and then just tap your toes, try to maintain the curve in your spine. Tap one, and then the other, right, and then left. Tap, tap, good. Tap, tap. If that feels easy, try doing both together a couple of times. Feel how the back wants to lift away from the floor. Just try to keep it steady as you tap. 2 more. Alternate or do it together. Okay, good. Rest your feet, rest your head for a moment. That one's a little bit of a neck killer, I know. Covers my neck. All right, we're going to do one more in that propped up position. Take another breath though, let your neck muscles relax, and then come back to your elbows when you're ready. Good, puff up your chest. Find that curve in your spine. We want that lumbar curve. That's where the discs are laying flat. Bend up your knees. Good, bend and straighten out together. Extend your heels towards the sky, and then pull your heels towards your butt. Press your heels up. Heels to butt. One more time. Heels up. And then heels to butt. Good, now hold your legs up. They're not totally straight, it's okay. And then lower right leg and bring it back. And lower left leg and bring it back. Good, one more each leg. Try to keep that curve in your spine. Last one. Good, and then fold your legs. Come on up to seated. Walk your hands out in front. And let your head and your neck soft. A deep breath here right into that low back curve. Trying to maintain or just come back to. And then you can roll over your legs or swing your legs to the side. We're going to come into downward facing dog. So find your way there. Take your time. Lift up and back as you're ready. And just take a moment to pedal out your feet. We did some opening of the backs of the legs already, so maybe it feels a little easier than the first dog of the practice usually does. All right, and then stretch your arms out straight, spread your fingers, soften your knees a little bit, and then try to come to that low back curve here. So bring your belly towards your thighs, pull your low back in towards your thighs. Go a little longer, Deborah. Step your feet back a smidge more. Deborah, can you step your feet back? Deborah, can you step your feet back a little bit? Yeah, a little bit longer. Yeah, so try to create a curve in your spine, an inward curve in your back. And then if you can hold it and straighten your legs, try that. And if not, just keep your knees a little bit soft. Take one more breath there. Good. And then either walk hands to feet or feet to hands, come to standing, and come on all the way up. Reach and stretch up. Good. And exhale, let your arms come by your sides. Okay, take your hands now. Stand with your feet about hip distance, sit bone distance, maybe a little closer than hip distance. And with your hands, find your hip points. Have your hands right on your hip points. Bend your knees, take your hips back a little bit. Good. Now, in this position, do a little cat and cow, pelvic tilt. So arch a little bit, and then round a little bit. As you arch, the sit bones move forward, the pubic bone moves back. As you round, the pubic bone moves forward, the hip points move back, right? Do you guys feel that? So try to land right in the middle where they're just in balance with each other, and then inhale your arms up to the sky. And if you're not sure where that is, just make some little micro movements. Just try to find your way to balance. Try to create that curve. Just come to center. Take one more breath. Good. Stretch up through your legs. Take your hands back to your hips. So one way to think about finding that balance place when we're standing. So some of us tend to stand with thighs forward. I'm exaggerating, of course, right? But like thighs forward. This is my dad. This is literally my dad. Like, oh my God, Dad, please. But you see people like that, right? And all of us fall in that on that scale. And then others are really super flexible in their back, But we want to be in that middle place. So one way to think about it is that your hip points and your pubic bone make sort of a triangle. And if you're in the arched position, the hip points are going to be forward of the pubic bone. If you're in the rounded position, your pubic bone is forward of your hip points. So another way of just sort of orienting yourself is to have them even with each other, if that makes sense. So see if you can use that as a way to just sort of balance the pelvis on the legs. Stretch your legs straight, inhale your arms up to the sky. Good, then exhale, fold forward. If you need to grab your blocks on the way, you can grab your blocks on the way. And then try that tilting a little bit in your forward bend. So arch a little and round a little in your forward bend. And again, try to land in the middle place where your pelvis feels really steady, resting on your thigh bones. And then you can let your spine, your upper body, your torso kind of spill over your legs. Yeah, that's it. Hold your pelvis, your legs really steady so that your spine can just release over. Okay, from here we're going to take a step back with the right leg and drop the right knee down. If you need to fold your mat over or take a blanket underneath your knee, just take a moment to do that. Okay, then hands up onto your hips. So in this position, the sit bones are rocked forward of the pubic bone, right? Which is fine. It's a little bit of a back bend. But let's try to lengthen the curve a little bit. So back up out of it a little bit. Draw your tailbone towards your pubic bone. Then maybe sit a little deeper into the knee. You're going to feel more stretch into your hip flexor. Inhale your arms to the sky. That's it. Lengthen up through the sides of your waist, lengthen up through your arms and your fingers. If you're looking for more sensation, you can sit your hips a little bit deeper, but try to maintain that neutral pelvis. Take one more breath where you are. And then take your hands down to the floor. You can use blocks here. We're going to come into a hamstring stretch. So right hip over right knee, stretch your left leg out in front of you. Slide your heel out. That's it. And straighten out your left leg. Good, now see if you can find that neutral position of the pelvis here. So as we move the body through space, sometimes it gets harder to orient yourself, but see if you can find that neutral place. Hold your pelvis steady. Hug your legs towards each other. And then again, let your spine sort of spill over. Let your head release. Good, so it's like we find our way to the middle. And then as we move in one direction or another, we're moving from the center. The more we come to the practice, the more we take that time to sit every day, easier it is to come back to it. One more breath. Okay, rebend the front knee, lift up your back knee, step forward with your back foot. Bend both knees for a moment here. Yep, that's gonna just put the pelvis more towards neutral. Then hold opposite elbows above your head. Let your head just release, your neck soften. Let your arms hang towards the floor. Breathe into the space in your upper back, letting your shoulder blades slide off the back a little bit. Good, then release your hands to the floor. And step your left leg back. And drop your left knee down. Good, take your hands to your hips. And just work those little movements, those little pelvic tilt movements. So if you know you happen to be pretty back bendy, I have a very bendy back, I have to do more of this belly toning. If you tend to be more flat and rounded in your back, you're going to work towards that curve a little bit more. But let's all find our way to the middle and then inhale, arms to the sky. Good. If you're looking for more sensation, pull your right heel towards your right sit bone, maybe sit the hips a little deeper. Keep your belly pulling back towards your spine, working to keep that pelvis neutral. One more breath. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Slide your left hip over your left knee, your right heel out in front of you. Good. Come to neutral. So that inward curve. So first stage of a forward bend, we do a back bend actually. We create that natural curve of the spine, a nice long spine. So that then as we extend from it, we're keeping the pelvis really steady. That movement is just in the upper body. We get more stretch into the low back muscles. Now, if your hamstrings are really on the tighter side, they may be pulling your pelvis out of that neutrality. That's okay. Get a good low back stretch. All right, rebend your front knee. We'll lift your back knee up. Step up to the front of your mat. And then come on all the way up, reach up, stretch up tall. Exhale, just come to Tadasana, so just land into mountain pose, close your eyes for a moment. Find your way back to neutral, see if you can just feel your way into it. If you need hands on hips to help, it's always fine. And then inhale, arms up again, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Good. Right leg back, this time right knee off the floor. If you need hands on blocks, you can do hands on blocks here, and you just want them in line with your front foot, that's fine. We're gonna actually bend and straighten the back leg a few times. So keep your left knee over your ankle, and then bend your back knee, tone your pelvic floor, tone your low belly, and then press your back leg straight again. And then do it again. Bend the knee a little bit, draw your pubic bone up, pull your navel towards your spine, stretch your legs straight. Do one more. Yep, move into that more neutral pelvis, stretch it out. Good, now stretch your front leg straight. Try to maintain the pelvis, the tilt of your pelvis as you straighten your front leg. The hamstrings are on the tighter side, you're gonna get pulled into that cat spine a little bit, that's okay. Good, take a deep breath in, lengthen your legs, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, just let yourself fold a little deeper, let your head and your neck release. Just be here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just need to do it.
Just need to come to the practice every day. Okay, rebend the knee, front knee. Plant your right hand on the floor, twist to the left arm to the sky. Yeah, you can go on the block. That's it. Keep your right thigh bone lifting up, twist a little bit deeper. And then exhale, release your hand down, step forward to the front of your mat. Switch your feet, left leg back. Yep, you got it. So hands on blocks is fine. We're gonna do a little bend of the back knee, pelvis to neutral, and then press out through the heel. And then do a little bend, and then press it out straight. And then one more little bend. And straighten, hold there, and straighten your front leg. Lengthen your legs, lengthen your spine, let your head release towards your knee. Even look back at your hips here and notice that left hip's gonna want to be back behind the right hip a little bit. Ooh, there it goes. Level up your hips. I know. Well, my phone just rang, so really I thought I turned mine off. All right, rebend, front knee. Plant your left hand on the block or on the floor, either one is fine. Twist to the right arm to the sky. Turn your belly, chest, your shoulders, one more breath. Good, exhale, take that hand down, step forward with your back foot. Soften your knees, hold opposite elbows. If you can remember which elbow went on the bottom, just switch it with the other elbow on the bottom. Just let yourself hang, let your neck, your shoulders, your head release. Here's the thing, our spiritual practice, we've got to do it, we've got to come to the mat, we've got to come and do it, but it doesn't have to be hard work. You can enjoy it, be enjoyable, sort of relish in it. All right, lengthen your spine, come on all the way up. Reach up, stretch up nice and tall. And exhale, let your arms release. All right, good. Let's step wide, face the long edge, step wide. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go into a forward fold. I want you to start with a little bit of a back bend. So legs nice and strong. Yep, tone, again, don't lock out your knees, but tone the muscles around your knees. And then slide your elbows back a little bit, almost like you're doing a little bit of a cow tilt of your pelvis. Tip the pelvis forward. Now, right from your hips hinge, so come forward with a long spine. Try to maintain that curve in your back. Yes, good, you guys, that's it. Spine nice and long, and then it's gonna be pretty clear where your body's like, yep, that's enough right there, So just hold there for a breath or two. Keep the spine long. Keep your legs working. Then exhale, hands to floor or to blocks. And now let your spine round over. So that first version, it's a little more of a hamstring stretch. The stage 2 is a little bit more of a low back stretch. Both are good. It's good to do both. And it's good to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. So now, even here, see if you can bring a little bit of a forward tilt to your pelvis, almost like you're trying to lift your sit bones a little bit higher. At the same time, ground your heels, extend your head towards the floor. One more breath. Walk your hands forward. You can stay with straight legs here, or you can bend your knees, and then with a nice long spine, come all the way back up, reach up. Good. Exhale, extend your arms out to the sides, turn on your right foot for triangle pose, pivot on your right foot, and then hinge over, hands to ankle, to shin. Have your legs as wide as you can go comfortably without feeling like you're gonna go into a spontaneous split, because we don't want that. Draw your low back to your belly to your low back. And then turn, take your right ribs a little more forward, your left ribs a little more back, left shoulder back. Neck in a neutral position. Just be here, just hold, be here and do the practice, that's it. Just here, practicing, nothing else needs to happen. Press down to your feet, come on up. Your shoulders need a break, you can let your arms come down and then pivot to the other side. Turn your right foot all the way in, turn your left foot out, arms out to the sides again. If you
Brought them down. Make sure that your left toes are pointing straight at the short edge of your mat. So they're going to want to turn in for most of us because the hip is tight. So try to get the hip to open up a little bit if you get those toes straight out. Okay, then hinge over, left hand to left shin, ankle, whatever's available. See if you can feel that neutral position for your pelvis even here. Rotate a little bit more from left to right. Move your right shoulder back. Just hold. Notice where the mind wants to wander off to. Notice what happens as we're holding for longer, and just see if you can keep coming back to practice, to your breath, to this moment. Push down into your feet, come on back up. Turn your feet in, release your arms. Good, step your feet together and do a little march. Okay, now come forward, we're gonna come to warrior one. So we're gonna go right foot back. Yep, the foot can be on an angle there, and then bend into the left knee. And then just notice where your pelvis landed, right? So we're gonna go into the tilt that our body wants to go into. So see if you can move more towards neutral. For me, that means pulling the tailbone down, my pubic bone up, low belly back. You tend to be in a more rounded spine, it might be pushing that back thigh bone back. So see if you can find that more neutral position and sit a little deeper into your front knee and inhale your arms up to the sky. Good. From the very center of your body, stretch down through your legs to the floor, stretch up through your spine to the crown of your head, stretch up to your fingertips. And just hold one more breath here, doing the practice. As you exhale, take your hands to your hips, step in a footprint, so you're in a little bit of a shorter stance, and straighten both legs. Tone the muscles around your knees without locking your knees. And then the right hip's gonna wanna be back a little bit, so rotate it forward as much as you can. Yes, come to that neutral spine. And then just like we did with the legs wide, we're gonna hinge forward. So stay as, keep that inward curve in your spine as long as you can. Good. That's it, hinge from the hip. One thing that helps is to fire that front quadricep, pull it up towards your belly as you pull your belly towards your thigh. Neck in line with your spine. Again, your body's gonna be pretty clear. Okay, that's it, just stay there. Take a breath. And then exhale, hands to floor or to blocks. Yep, let your head and your neck soften, let your back round. Stage one, stage two. All right, inhale, step forward. And come on all the way up. You can reach up if that feels good. And release your arms. Okay, I'm starting warrior one. Left foot back. Yeah. Right knee is over the ankle. Left heel is down. Yep. Good. Then work to orient the hips forward, those hip points like the headlights of your car pointing straight out in front. And then again, find that neutral place. So for me, again, it's a lot of pelvic floor toning, a lot of low belly lift, so that my lumbar spine isn't just collapsing in. Then arms up. Try to maintain that neutral spine, maybe bend the front knee a little deeper. And then from the center, we find our way to the center, we find our way to the practice, and then we just expand ourselves fully into it. Just be here, this pose. We know what's coming next, we know where we're headed, but just be in this pose. Good. Release your hands, step in with your back foot. Okay, we're like height, good height. With the back foot in, both legs straight now. Try to find that inward curve in your spine, and then hinge. Trying to maintain the curve. Squeeze the legs towards each other and squeeze that quadricep, front leg quadricep up towards your belly. That's it. Try to maintain the curve as long as you can. Hip resistance, just hold, breathe. And then exhale, hands to the floor, let your spine round. Keep your leg muscles firing. As we move away from neutral, move into a more dramatic, rounded spine, we come from that place of balance from the center. Everything is a little more even then. Okay, step forward with your back foot. Inhale, come on all the way up. And release your arms. Okay, find your strap. This has been the challenge pose of the week. We're gonna do a big, hopefully they have loops in them already. If you, I'm not gonna make you loop, but take one with a loop. Okay, so we're gonna come down to sit. And you're gonna put your whole body into your loop. So, sorry, I really put my phone on do not disturb. I promise you I did, I don't know why.
I think I was.
Okay, what's that?
I think I always do.
I know, it literally is in do not disturb, okay. Okay, so I'll check it before we show us. So you're gonna put the whole thing around you. Like this. Yeah. So get it underneath your shoulder blades. Yes. Then get your feet into it. Yeah. Now, if it's too big, you can tighten up the loop a little bit, right? Find the buckle so you can tighten up your loop. So it's around my shoulder blades. My arms are over the strap on top. Yeah. So take a minute to adjust. Okay, then, so with the feet on the floor, you're in your little loop here. Tip your sit bones forward. So try to create that curve in your spine. Yep. And then you're going to stay on the front edge of the sit bones. You're going to lift your feet up. You may not want it much smaller. We're going to stretch the legs out. Told you where we were going. You might not want it small. Good. Now, push your feet into the strap. Extend your arms out if you need to hold the strap, or if you need your hands on the floor, that's fine. But try to bring your weight more forward towards the front of your sit bones. And then as you push your feet away, feel how you can draw your low back in even a little bit more. Just hold for a breath. That's a lot. It's a hard one. Okay, good. And then bend your knees. Okay, now stretch your legs out on the floor. So you're going to be sort of hinged forward at your hips. Okay, stage one, shoulders back into the block, into the strap, shoulders back. And now try to, so the strap, we're gonna lose that tension on the strap. You're gonna try to bring your belly towards your thighs, that hinging action. So not rounding yet, just hinging from your hips. And now you can reach forward and hold the strap. That's it. So hinge, 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 belly towards the thighs. And then stage two, now let your head release, your spine round. You can give a gentle tug on your feet if you're holding your feet, or on the strap if you're holding the strap, just pulling back a little bit. So we're staying close to that neutral position as close as we can. Okay, good. Inhale, you can slide the strap off your feet and inhale and come on up. Okay, now we're gonna do those two without the strap. Maybe we'll use it again, we'll see. All right, so we'll come into it without now. So same idea, hold behind your thighs. And then draw the low back up into that curved position, pull your shoulders back. And then keep it, tip yourself back. Good, stretch your legs any amount straighter. They don't have to fully straighten. You can keep them a little bit bent. If they straighten, by all means straighten them. Pull your belly and your thighs towards each other. Belly and thighs towards each other. You can stay here, or you can release your hands. And breathe. And hold steady. 2 more breaths. Hold your feet, hold your legs if you need to, it's fine. And last one. Good, extend your legs out in front. Hands by your hips. You may want to grab your strap for this, but come into this first stage without. So you're tipping your pelvis forward, right? So instead of rounding your pelvis back and coming in like this, we're tipping forward, belly to thighs, thighs to belly. Good, and then again, your body's going to be pretty clear. Okay, that's about it. Then let your spine round. Strap around your feet, or you can hold your feet, and go to stage 2. Two more deep breaths. Slowly inhale. Okay, excellent. All right, let's do a little more work on the hips before we find our way to what will hopefully be a more comfortable seat. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Good. And make your ankle straight. So flex your foot and then lift the whole thing up. You can hold it like this. Yep, you can cradle with your elbows. You can scoop, however you like to do it. Yep. And then do a little circling, rocking. Just bring all your awareness to your right sitting bone on the floor.
And just let your body sort of circle around that sitting bone and let gravity just get heavy on that sitting bone. All right, now keep holding your foot with your elbow or with your hand, but release your right hand out to the right. Good. And then roll on the hip a little more. Yeah. Yep. If you want to go onto your elbow, you can go onto your elbow. Try to find, come onto the more meaty part of your behind. Not like right on the bones, but on that meaty part. If you're on the bonier side and your butt, I'm sorry, this is even have a padded behind, so it's so I can move into that sort of padding. Still pretty deep. All right. Then inhale and come on up. Good. Stretch that leg out. Let's do the other leg. So left leg across. Again, any way you want to hold it, scoop or cradle or just with your hands. Find your sit bone. Circle around. Do a little side to side. Forward to back. Do this baby cradle right as you're cradling your leg. Perhaps have a sense of just, cradling your own self. You were a precious baby being rocked and cradled. All right, then keep holding the foot, rock over onto your left hand, roll on your hip, use the weight of your body to sort of iron it out. Yeah, again, play around, like go to the elbow, come up into the hand, just see where you need more. What part needs a little more attention. Feel even side to side. Another couple breaths. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna come up, you can release that foot, and we're gonna come to sit. We're gonna just sit for a short meditation, just a couple minutes before Shavasana. So if it's more comfortable to sit on a blanket, please sit up on a blanket. For most people it is. For most of us, we want the knee points below the hip points, or at least in line with the hip points, even if they're not below, at least in line with the hip points. And then there's two different poses that we sit classically in meditation. So one is Sukhasana, where the ankles are crossed and the feet are flexed. So if this is a more comfortable situation for your knees or for your hips, be there. Siddhasana, we pull one heel into the groin and then we slide the other heel in front of it. So either one of those is fine. Yep. And then reach under and just move the flesh out to the side. So you're on your sitting bones. Yeah, rest your hands onto your thighs. And then just, again, try to find that neutral place. So the body is naturally gonna wanna rock back into the tailbone. But we don't wanna be so sort of rigid that, the breath feels restricted. So come as close to that neutral position for your pelvis as you can, so that your spine can lengthen and you're sitting up tall. If your eyes aren't closed, just let your eyes gently come together. Started in this position or ending in this position. So maybe notice how your body might feel different after the practice, after the postures. And just imagine yourself sitting at an opening. Maybe it's a tent, maybe it's an opening in your own mind. If there's an image that's helpful for you, use an image. Imagine that opening holds all possibilities within. We choose to enter. Bring your awareness fully present with yourself, into your body, into your breath. Mind feels very active. Just keep hooking it back to the breath so you're giving it something to do. So it starts to feel a little more settled. Allow yourself to just imagine an open space in front of you, around you, or within. Just listen, be aware, open up to your deepest self. Like to stay in meditation. The last few minutes of practice, you can stay right where you are. Like to come down onto your back and finish in Shavasana and just slowly, quietly your way down. When you choose to finish your practice, be there wholeheartedly, whole body, mind, spirit. Now, breath in. Allow your awareness to begin to rise back to the surface. Allow your body to stretch and move in whatever way feels good to you. And just make your way to your side, back to seated. a moment to reflect on what are your usual excuses for not getting to your practice. Perhaps even create then a mantra for yourself or a phrase, something you can say to yourself to remind you the importance of just taking the time to sit at the opening, be open to what may arise, to listen. Bring your hands onto your heart or in front of your heart. Let's close together with Shalom. Take a deep breath in if you'd like to join. Shalom. Thank you, ladies. Have a great.
Thank you.
Nice and friends.
I put that I was gonna be here on Monday, but I have a closing and I can't be here.
Okay.